Good morning, everyone. Hope you had a pleasant evening. Ready for some case study work today. So I posted a link in the chat for you to go grab our day 3 files that you're going to need. All right, while you're finishing getting those up, just want to remind everybody that tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., there's a meeting with our business development manager, Marie Zwicker. She'll be talking about updates and what's going on new with the academy system. And if you got questions, complaints, whatever it is, she's the one to voice them to. She kind of runs us all. So be sure you attend tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. We'll see her. And then those that want to and stick around for the second part of our instructor professional development week stuff. Tomorrow we'll be talking, or next 2 days, we'll be talking specifically about the automation. So we'll be doing some setup stuff, getting started tomorrow afternoon. And then Friday morning, we'll have a session on Python and ways that we can use Python, basic Python stuff to automate our networks. And then tomorrow afternoon, or Friday afternoon, we'll be doing a session on Ansible and how to get those things set up and ready to go. So hope you'll be able to attend, especially in the morning. That'll be a very special session. We want everybody to attend so you can hear the latest updates. And then we'll get into our automation stuff. Second thing I just want to briefly touch with you on is the combination where they're working on combining NetAcad and combining the Skills for All. So those that aren't aware, that haven't used Skills for All, there's some great resources and materials over there. The new platform that we're going to be going to as far as our grade books and just using the platform is what's on Skills for All right now. They're adding new features, all that kind of stuff to it all the time, so you can kind of get a head start on what that's going to look like. But what I want to emphasize to you today is when you log into the Skills for All, let me bring one of those up so I can show you. Which is skillsforall.com. So when you get to the landing page, you want to go up here in the far right corner and click on login. And then there's an email and password to put here. Do not put your credentials in there. Okay, do not. That's not for the NetAcad side of things. If you
That's actually why I'm not getting deeds. It's just.
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry.
You're breaking up on my end.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I was responding to a text.
Oh, okay, no problem. So
sorry about that.
So instead of putting your information in where it looks like it should go, you need to go down and click on the blue box down here at the bottom, and it says the Cisco Networking Academy. And then you're going to use the same credentials that you log in with on NetAcad, you put in here. Now, if you have created a separate account and done something differently on Skills for All before, that's not an issue. But moving forward, you need to go in and on one of the platforms, change it so that they match. Okay, preferably make your Skills for All match what's on NetAcad. Make Skills for All match what's on NetAcad for you to log into. Come January, they're gonna start combining the accounts, merging everything together. If they're not the same thing, then what's on NetAcad is going to be deleted. Okay, And then so you're going to only be left with what's on the skills for all. So you want to be sure that you have those two things, that they're both in matching, and then there's not going to be any issues with your count not working correctly, or you're missing previous classes or archives or whatever it is. They're not going to work. So very important. Be sure both the skills for all and the NetAcad match before January, and then you're not going to see any difference, any delay in what we do. So just want to put that out there, just so we got as many people aware of that before we get to that point, because we don't want to cause you any issues that there's going to be. And then moving forward from January, they're going to be implementing the new stuff in different phases, and then by late summer, late July, August of next year, the two platforms will be totally merged, combined together. We're not sure yet if it's going to be called Skills for All or be called NetAcad. I'm not sure what those are going to be, but everything is going to become one platform, so that everything that you do on what we do in the current NetAcad will all appear in the same format, same thing that we see here on the Skills for All. So if you haven't used the Skills for All, I suggest that you do go in and at least look at it, see what's in there for you to do something with. They got some really good things for you to work on in there. First one, that when you get there, just if you haven't done it before, when you get to the site, you're logged in as the learner. You're a student in the system. So first thing you want to do as the instructor is go up to here where it says the Skills for All, has a little drop down, and then you're allowed to go in and choose instructor roles. Okay, for whichever one that you're there, you need to be sure that you have an instructor role set up for one of those. I mean, just choose an instructor role, doesn't matter which academy for right now. So that is going to refresh eventually. There we go. So now you have that instructor role. So you will see some new things like My Classes appear. But either side, from the learner or from the instructor role, if you go up to the Explore up here on the left, one of the things that interest us as the CCNA people, if you come across over here where it says the career paths over in the right side of that pop-up, there's one that says the network technician. There's cybersecurity, and then there's the network technician. This is the introductory path stuff for NetAcad now. So that you will find there are 4 courses laid out inside of here. One called Networking Basics, which is just getting started, what we do, some basic commands, that type of thing. There's a second course that you go into then is the networking devices and initial configuration. So you start learning about configuration and how to set up devices in that one. Third course is the network addressing, basic troubleshooting. So this is where we'll start the IP addressing stuff, start looking at it from a classical standpoint to start with. And then fourth one down there is called the network support and security. And then all 4 of those courses, after you get through with those, can lead into taking the network technician career path exam. That's just an overall exam helping you prepare for the next step, which is to go take the new Cisco Certified Support Technician in Networking, the CCST certification. So this is the pathway one of the pathways to get to the CCST. So I suggest that you do it in these 4 courses. Gives you breaks it down a little bit more. Each one of the courses, when you finish those, there's an exam that you take at the end of them. You pass that, you get a digital badge that students can display, so they see some accomplishment very soon into their learning. So they end up with all four of those digital badges as they go through, and then they're ready to go take the CCST. The other option that you can have, if from the NetAcad side of things, you can go take the Networking Essentials, take it as one course and get to the same thing. Or you can go through and actually take the first CCNA and then just do this network support and security part, and you would be prepared to take the CCST. But again, in my opinion, I think it's better for you to go through and take these 4 mini courses. There's a couple of them that are like 20 hours a piece, 25 hours a piece. Then there's the second and third one, I think, are 10 and 8 hours a piece, something like that, to go through and take. So not long to go through and do each one of them. They can be set up to be self-led, or they can be set up to be instructor-led. As of right now, when you do the instructor-led stuff, really all you have access to is looking at the grade book, adding some assignments, that type of stuff to it. There's not all total functionality in it yet, but all of that is coming as we get into the second phase of things in the spring. You'll be seeing a whole lot more of that stuff added. They're trying out new features and all that kind of stuff all the time in it. But at least you'll be able to see the grades and add some assignments and add your own lab work and that kind of stuff into it. As of right now, everything in here is built as packet tracer activities for them to do. They don't have to touch real equipment, which I still think is extremely important for them to do. My students that have gone through and have done this, we still do the packet tracers, but then I've created some real equipment labs that they have to do. There's just nothing like physically plugging in cables and getting it all set up. You having to go through the console and go through your terminal application to get it to work. Those are just skills that they need to know how to do. But anyway, so there's lots and lots of stuff here on Skills for All that you can go through and look at. Lots of different layouts. Those that want to get into the DevNet, DevOps type stuff, then really the prerequisite to do those is you need to know Linux and you need to know Python. And there's both good courses in there for both of those things. There's lots of new stuff that they've just added for the data science pathway. That's going to become its own credentialed pathway pretty soon, I believe. Again, under the programming, and then that's when you're going to see the Python, JavaScript 1, JavaScript 2 is going to be coming here pretty soon. They've just added a whole bunch of new stuff under these professional skills. There's some new courses in there just about how you go in and create business reports. Looking at the new entrepreneurship course is laid down in there, how to engage your stakeholders. Some very good information that you can use inside of the Skills for All. So I highly encourage you to go in there and look at that. At least go in and examine and see what's available for you to do. You as the instructor can go through the classes as self-paced stuff and then set up an instructor-led one if you need to, or whatever it is you want to do in there. But just remember, you need to be sure that your Skills for All matches and your NetAcad match before January. That's an important skill for you to be sure you go through and complete. All right, now that you've had a chance to go and download our materials for today, you should, and again, I got the first and second day stuff loaded in there. Fourth and fifth day stuff that I'll be doing in the automation will also be in there. But under the day 3 things, you're going to see just two folders in there. So for this morning session, I want you to work on the semester 2 case study. So these are case studies were created by Neil Brooks we've went through them a couple of times with academies, our local academies back in Texas, who's made some suggestions and added things. And this one completed one that's in here. That's something that was just done yesterday. One of our instructors went through and added some stuff to it and set up some different things. So that's something that you can look for. But you can just start with the start one and then work your way through them. So both these projects are built into phases. So as you go through the semester, after we've done a specific skill set, then they can start working on the case study things that they go through. So after we've done the first 4 chapters and the VLAN stuff, then they can go in and start doing the phase 1 of the case study and get their VLANs and that stuff set up. And when we do Ether channel, SHRP, and those things, those become the next phases, things that we go through. So it's not just something you have to jump in all at one time. You can certainly do that. You can, again, do this as a kind of a review as you go through and finish up the semester. So you can do it all as one. This could be a capstone top projects that you do at the very end after you've finished all 3 semesters as they're reviewing for their CCNA. They could do these projects. So the projects themselves are made to, depending on your skill set, they could take anywhere between 3 to 12 hours and more to go through and complete. They are going to make the students make you think about what's coming at, which is not that we're giving you all the answers. We're going to just tell you, here's what we want to accomplish, and you have to figure out how to go through and take care of those. So just open up phase 1 right here. So you see the topology things that you're going to do here in phase 1, and the scenario that it's going to tell you about that you're going to go through and look at, and then what you're going to go through and set up about each one of them and the way the devices are named or whatever, what you have to try to accomplish. Okay, so as I said, kind of involved. There's a lot of things to go through and do in each one of the tasks as you go through there. But as professionals, we ought to be able to go through and take care of some of those things. And then, so I just want you to go through. You'll see the topology parts will change for each one of the phases. You'll just keep adding on and adding on and adding on to it until finally you've got the total thing built out for you. Let me open that for you so you can see it. Pocket tracer is going slow again. Put that over here and shrink it down where you can see it all. Go. So that's kind of what it's gonna look like when you finally get to the end. Again, by starting, you just did part over here, and then phase 2 you did some of this, phase 3 you did over here, and then finally getting them all come back together. So lots of involved things for you to go through and do. As always, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to come back and ask. You can pull up the chat or ask me a question online. If you need to do that, I'm going to stay online. But you basically are going to have the rest of the morning to go through and work on the whole semester 2 case study stuff. And then I will see you back after lunch at 1 o'clock, and we will go through and look at the semester 3 case studies. So again, if you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you back at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back for the second part of our day. This afternoon, we're going to be working on a case study for the semester 3. This particular case study involves pretty much everything we do in the CCNA. in little bits so that it's a good review for them, not just for the third semester, but as they go in and get ready to take their CCNA exam too. This is a good one for them to go through and look at. So this is the kind of the finished, kind of all run together. It needs to be spaced out a little bit more probably, but this is what the final project part of it is going to look like. So you're going to have lots of different computers and different networks and tunneling, and part of it's going to run on IPv6, part of it's going to run in IPv4. You've got different IPv4, v6 web servers. So you can see there's different ones of those. Lots of different guests, lots of different wireless LAN controllers. Just incorporates a little bit of everything that we do. So in your project folder, day 3 folder, you'll see the number 3 Insula. In there, you've got the 3 different phases. So I've got a PDF and the Word document for each one of those phases that you can open, whichever one's appropriate for you. There is a start, and then there's one that's completed that's got everything in it and working the way that he wanted it to. And then totally separate from that, this is another separate project that they can that you can go in and do that does kind of a CCNA review type thing that an instructor just sent me yesterday that he put together. Let's see if I can get that. There you go. Why did that go to the background? Anyway, this is kind of what it looks like. It's divided into 3 groups. So this group over here we call the Dallas Corporation side, and this is the Houston Corporation side, and then this is the ELAND out in the middle of them that's getting set up. So we got multiple areas. So you got to go in and this one's going to do this area, figure out how you're going to write summary routes for everything that's over here. This side's going to end up with summary routes that send up. So we're limiting our routing tables, that kind of stuff to do it. So very good project that you can go through and look at with all that kind of stuff too. So here's again what the three sides of it look like from what's been added onto the inside the PKA file for you to look at and how that's going to get set up. So you get 2 different projects that you can look at and work on if you want to do that. I would suggest doing the 3-phased one first. That's more in line with the CCNA 3 stuff. And then this project takes it a little bit further. It goes into multi-area OSPF stuff that we don't have in the CCNA curriculum, but that they need to know for the next level of stuff that's out there. So whichever one of those you want to work on, you certainly can feel to do that. As usual, if you have questions, need something, please don't hesitate to get back on the WebEx and chat with me. I'll be staying on until 4 o'clock for us to do stuff today. So hope you enjoy doing these case studies. I know there's not much on my end for me to tell you. You just need time to go through them and work on them. So whatever I can do to help, please let me know. Hope you enjoy it. Hope we will see you back here at 9 a.m. in the morning for our meeting with our business development manager and some of the other people from Cisco who help us. So please come back and hear about the updates and what's new and what's coming. They'll be able to tell you a whole lot more about the phase stuff that's going to be going on with the Skills for All site. So there may be some of those people on the call tomorrow too. I'm not sure about that, but Pastor Davis and I will be there and sharing sharing information with you. So we hope to see you, everyone there tomorrow. Have a good rest of your afternoon, everyone.